You closed the bathroom door. Not slammed it, not locked it, just pulled it shut the way you have done 1,000 times. And within 4 seconds there was a sound at the bottom of the door. A nose pressing into the gap. Then a paw. Then a low sound that was not quite a whine and not quite silence, something in between. And you sat there, in your own bathroom, unable to shake the feeling that you had done something wrong. Or maybe yours is quieter than that. Maybe your dog just materializes. You walk from the kitchen to the living room and they are already there. You get up from the sofa and they are already standing. You turn around in the hallway and they are 2 feet behind you, eyes tracking your next move, body already oriented in the direction you are about to go. Every dog owner knows this behavior. Most of them smile at it. Almost none of them know what is actually happening inside the dog's brain when it happens. And what is happening is not loyalty. It is not affection. It is not even habit in the casual sense of the word. It is a low-grade panic response that your dog's nervous system runs automatically, every single time you leave its line of sight. And understanding why changes everything about how you read the animal that follows you from room to room. The research on this behavior goes somewhere most people are not expecting. Studies on separation anxiety in dogs have consistently found that the physiological stress response, elevated cortisol, increased heart rate, shallow breathing, does not only appear when a dog is left home alone for 8 hours. It appears within minutes of the owner's departure. In some dogs, within seconds. And the clinical definition of when that stress response activates is not when the owner leaves the house. It is when the dog loses visual contact with its primary attachment figure. That is the bathroom door. That is you walking to the other end of the flat. That is 15 seconds in the garden without them. The dogs that follow most intensely are not, as many people assume, the most insecure or the most poorly trained. Research examining the link between owner attachment style and dog behavior found that dogs whose owners reported a more secure and confident relationship with them were actually more oriented toward their owners during stressful situations, not less. The following behavior can be a sign of deep, healthy attachment, not dysfunction. What it is specifically is a nervous system that has learned a very specific equation. You present, world is safe. You absent, threat level unknown. And it runs that equation constantly. Every time you move. To understand why dogs are built this way, you have to go back further than any individual dog's life. You have to go back to what dogs actually are, and what they were before they were the animals sitting outside your bathroom door. Dogs evolved alongside human beings for somewhere between 15 and 40,000 years depending on which genetic study you read. During that entire span of time, the dogs that survived were not the ones that wandered freely and operated independently. They were the ones that stayed close to humans. The ones that tracked human movement. The ones that treated separation from the group as a warning signal. That is not a personality trait. That is selective pressure across thousands of generations building a nervous system that is physically wired to treat your proximity as safety information. When you are in sight, your dog's brain receives a constant low-level signal, anchor present, environment stable. When you leave sight, even briefly, that signal cuts. And the brain, which was built to treat that cut as meaningful, begins scanning. What researchers who have studied this describe as Velcro dog behavior, the dog that sticks to you through every room of the house, is at its core this ancient safety monitoring system running in a domestic environment where the threats it was designed for no longer exist. Your dog does not need to stay close to survive. But 15,000 years of evolution do not care about your floor plan. Now here is where this gets more personal than most people expect. The research on what your presence actually does to a dog's nervous system is not metaphorical. It is measurable. When a dog that has been separated from its owner, even briefly, is reunited, cortisol drops. Heart rate slows. Breathing normalizes. The nervous system physically shifts state. You are not just a person your dog is attached to. You are a biological regulation system. Your presence is a measurable chemical event inside your dog's body. This is why the bathroom door is not a small thing to your dog. From the outside, it looks like an overreaction. From inside your dog's nervous system, The math is straightforward. The thing that regulates my entire stress response just disappeared behind a door, and I cannot verify when it is coming back. There is also something researchers found in the specific expression of this behavior, the way the following happens, the body language that comes with it, that tells you something important about which category your individual dog falls into. Dogs that follow and remain calm, that settle near you without pacing or vocalizing, that accept a closed door after a brief moment of adjustment, those dogs have a secure attachment. They want to be near you. They check in. They trust that you come back. Dogs that pace, whine, scratch at doors, cannot settle even when you are visible but stationary, or that escalate when any barrier appears between you. Those dogs have what researchers classify as insecure or anxious attachment. And the research on that particular group is worth understanding, because the response most people instinctively reach for actually makes it worse. When most owners notice their dog following anxiously, the instinct is to comfort them. To reach down and reassure them. To say it is okay, I am here. And the research says, with some nuance, that how you do this matters enormously. Comfort given in response to anxious following can, over time, reinforce the anxiety rather than resolve it. Not because comfort is bad, but because the timing teaches the dog that the anxious behavior produces the thing it wants most, your full attention. The behavior strengthens. What behavioral research consistently recommends instead is what is called proactive calm reinforcement. You reward the dog when it is calm and settled, not when it is anxious and following. You make the quiet, independent moments the moments that produce good things. You teach the dog that calm is more rewarding than following. This is harder than it sounds, because it requires you to notice and respond to a behavior, your dog being peaceful, that most owners simply do not register because it is not demanding anything from them. But the effect, applied consistently, changes the nervous system calculation. Not instantly. Over weeks. But it changes it. There is one more dimension to all of this that nobody talks about, and it is the one that will probably stick with you longest after this video ends. The dog outside your bathroom door is not just your pet expressing a need. It is the end point of a 15,000-year relationship between your species and theirs. A relationship so deep and so mutual that your dog's nervous system and your nervous system have become genuinely interdependent. Research on the human-animal bond has confirmed that your stress levels and your dog's stress levels track together. When you are anxious, your dog's cortisol rises. When you are calm, theirs drops. The regulation runs in both directions. You regulate your dog's nervous system by existing near them. Your dog regulates yours. This is not poetry. It is peer-reviewed biology. The animal pacing outside your bathroom door, waiting for a sound, tracking every movement through a quarter-inch gap, is running a system that was built over thousands of years specifically to keep the two of you close. And the reason it was built that way is because, for most of the history of this relationship, staying close was how both species survived. Your dog is not being dramatic. It is being exactly what it was made to be. The most loyal creature evolution ever built, waiting on the other side of a door, doing the only thing its biology knows how to do when you are out of sight. Making sure you come back. Subscribe if you want to keep understanding what is actually happening inside your dog's mind every day. And drop a comment below. How does your dog react when you close a door? Do they sit quietly, pace, whine, or completely lose their mind? Tell me exactly what yours does. I read every single one. Next time on Paws and Psych, we are going into something that every dog owner has seen but almost nobody has looked at closely. The science behind it is genuinely one of the strangest things researchers have found about the domestic dog. You will not see it coming.